Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create custom unit knowledge in OEMx. And the purpose of creating custom unit knowledge is if you have a unit that you are repeatedly reusing in your projects, you can set it up so that you can just import it into any future projects, and it makes your life a lot easier. So we'll begin by creating a custom unit. For this example, I'm going to be creating a digital filter unit. And our description is it's a piece of software that filters your data. So digital filter for some data. Now, I'm going to introduce a concept here where I'm going to put the word sub in between curly braces at the beginning of the name of this unit. And the reason behind it, you may be familiar if you've ever imported unit knowledge. When you import unit knowledge, you are able to enter a name, like a custom name. So in this case, we want to name it like my unit. And then when you select a unit, like for example, an analog to digital converter, you can see that the custom name appears in the unit name, in the deviation names, all over the place. So that is the purpose of our sub. So this field will be replaced with whatever the user's custom name is when this is imported. All right, so we've created our unit, and now we will create a custom deviation. So deviation is something that could go wrong with this unit. We could also add subunits to this unit, which we will do later. But for now, we're just going to add a deviation. So here's what can go wrong with this unit. And the deviation here is that this filter, and again, I'll use sub, filter, attenuates a signal that should be passed. Okay, so, and we'll just, for speed right now, we'll just copy this name into the description. So the sub can be used in the description too. And then we'll say that, for example, this is a dangerous fault. And finally, we will add a mitigation, which is some kind of measure that we are going to use to detect or prevent this fault. So we'll add a custom mitigation. This one's going to be stimulate input with a signal, with a set signal set, and compare output. And this will probably have about medium level of effectiveness. And so what this mitigation does is, description is that we send a known signal to the filter input that should result in a correct response and verify that response. And if we detect this, for example, we could enunciate via a dedicated output. So that is how to add the deviations and mitigations. I'm going to kind of skip ahead to having added several more deviations and mitigations and then show you how to export the entire unit. All right, so as you can see, I have added an additional deviation plus 2 subunits with their own deviations and mitigations. A couple things to point out. So we've used sub in several different places, so you should be able to see that get replaced when we import this unit later. Another thing to point out is these 2 mitigations are the same. So the idea is that if we implemented this mitigation, it would detect either of these failures. And I point that out, and again, same down here. Again, I point that out so that we see that when we import this, these mitigations are all going to be the same mitigation again as well. So now that we've created our unit, we can export it by right-clicking on it and going to export expert knowledge. So that'll bring up our expert knowledge window here. So we first need a name for our unit. In our name here, we do not want to have any subs. So this is just the name that's going to appear from our list of possible units before the user enters the name. So, so we just want the digital filter as our name here. And then substitution is going to be sub. This is whatever we put that we want to be replaced with the name. And we'll add some tags so that this unit is easier to find later. So let's say this one is software, excuse me, and filter. All right, and once we've entered all the information here, we'll click Export Complete Subtree. So exporting children only will not export the top level unit. So we want the complete subtree. And you want to put this in your library folder. So for me, my OEMx just opens right up to the library folder. Yours might too, in which case that life is easy. If not, you might have to look around for it. My OEMx installation put it in the Documents Exida folder, but it may be different for you. So look around to find your library v whatever version of the library you have. And then inside the library, you want to go to Templates and Unit. Here we have the different categories of units. So you can put your unit into whatever category it belongs in, or you can create your own category by creating a new folder here. But for now, this is a piece of software, so I'm going to put it in here. So digital filter. And we want to change our file type to ATemp version 2. So this is the file type that we use for unit knowledge. And you can see that when I change that to that file type, all of our other software units appear in here. So then we'll save. And we can see that we can test it out by just trying to import the unit that we just had. So we'll load unit knowledge. And we'll call this my filter. And we'll look in software, which is where we put it. And here it is, digital filter. So we'll select all and load it just so we can compare. So you can see that it is the same, pretty much exactly the same as the one we just exported. The my filter replaces all of these subs in here. And you can also see that the mitigations that were common, like M0 up on the top, are common down here. So M2 here, M2 here, and M2 here. So that's it. Thanks for tuning into the video, everyone, and have a great day.